Welcome once again to Good Frickin Cookin with your host, Ryan Frick. As part of my Thanksgiving special, in this episode we're going to learn how to make good frickin' turkey. Now this recipe is easy as far as turkeys go, but it's guaranteed to come out nice and moist and delicious with a nice deep brown crispy skin. So why don't we get to it? So go ahead and take your turkey out of its wrapper, put it in the sink and run cold water all over it. Give it a good rinse. Put it in your work area and go ahead and take out the neck and the giblets and that gravy packet that I never use out of the middle. Then take paper towels and pat it dry all over, underneath too, in between the wings, everything. Now see this timer right here? This thing is a worthless piece of crap. But seeing as how they managed to poke it through the skin, go ahead and leave it in, because if you remove it, all the juices will just run out of that hole. Mine didn't even work. It didn't even pop up, so if that tells you anything. So anyway, go ahead and take your wings and tuck them up underneath the breast. See, like I'm doing there. Make it nice and compact. Now when I spin this around, you see my legs are already trussed, but if yours aren't, go ahead and tie them together with kitchen twine, or you can even use unflavored dental floss. Anyway, go ahead and transfer that to your roasting pan. Then go ahead and just rough chop, don't even have to peel them, a couple onions. I actually had to use 3 because my bird was 20 pounds. Then go ahead and stuff them inside the cavity. Now in a bowl, go ahead and put in a half teaspoon of thyme, a half teaspoon of sage, a quarter teaspoon of marjoram, and a whole teaspoon of rosemary. Then take a fork and mix those up to combine them. Now in another bowl, go ahead and put in a half stick of very soft butter. Take your spices, add in about 1/3 of your spices to the butter and mix those up. Now this is called a compound butter, and it's used a lot in professional cooking. And once you're done with that, add in a pinch of salt. If your butter is unsalted like mine is, then go ahead and mix that up really good. Now take a spatula, a small spatula, or maybe a spoon turned upside down, or some other thing that isn't sharp that won't poke through the skin. Go ahead and separate the skin and the breast. See, like I'm doing here? Do that on both sides. Then go ahead and take your compound butter, about half on each side. Stick it in the opening and then massage it until it's all the way back. Now the breast meat is covered with that butter, and the skin, because it's waterproof, will keep it inside there and will give the breast a nice flavor. Now take 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Go ahead and get yourself a paintbrush and paint your turkey all over, as much as you can see. Then go ahead and take the rest of your herbs and spread them all over, sprinkle them all over, and then pat them down in. Then go ahead, if you want, like I do, and sprinkle some paprika all over. Now this doesn't really give any kind of taste. It's just good for presentation. It looks nice on the skin. Now last up is to fit it with the foil. Go ahead and get yourself a sheet of foil, and what you want to do is mold it around the breast. You want to leave the wings alone and the legs alone. See how I'm doing that? Now the wings and the legs can take the heat, okay, but the breast not so much. Once that gets browned, it's done. So after you've molded that, go ahead and carefully lift it off so it'll keep its shape, and then you can pop it into the oven. Now I don't know what happened to my footage for the next part here. I must have lost it, so I guess I'm just going to have to explain it. What you do is you set your oven to 425, and you want to pop your turkey in there for at least an hour if you like it golden brown. I left mine in for about an hour and a half because I like my skin a deeper brown. Now after that, take your turkey right out of the oven and put it on the stovetop and close the oven door. That's going to help keep its heat, and that will cut down on your cooking time. Go ahead and take 2 more tablespoons of melted butter. Baste the skin again. Now with your turkey baster, baste all the skin all over, but a good trick is, without breaking the skin, put the baster up in between the skin and the breast and squeeze the drippings right in there. Remember, the skin is waterproof, so no moisture is going to get to the breast unless you put it right on there. Once you've done that, go ahead and take the aluminum foil that we molded earlier, place it over the breast, reduce the oven down to 325 degrees, and start to cook it. Now, for a 10 to 12 pound turkey, if you did 425 for an hour, it'll go 2 hours more. If you did it an hour and a half, you better back off about a half hour, 45 minutes. Now, I had a 20-pound turkey. I did mine at 425 for an hour and a half, and it took another 2.5 hours to cook. Now, you want to baste your turkey, like I just said there, every 30, 45 minutes, right? All over the skin and up underneath between the skin, breast skin and the breast meat. And you want to cook your turkey until the temperature is about 170 to 180 when you insert your thermometer in the thickest part of the thigh. So once your turkey's done, go ahead and take it out of the oven. And very important, cover it with foil completely all over, okay? And let it rest for a good 30 minutes. If you just cut into the turkey right away, all the juice will run out and then everything else will be dry. So very important step. And there you have it. Look at that turkey. The skin is all nice and brown. The breast meat, all the meat is just super juicy and tender. And the herbs on it really make a nice statement. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. Until next time, this is Ryan Frick with Good Frickin' Cookin'. And I'm wishing you a happy frickin' Thanksgiving. Catch you later.